But it means, like, as far as, like, the game's flow is concerned, we go from kind of moving forward to stopping. And stopping can be a little frustrating at times. Drop you, drop you, drop you, drop you, drop you. Primordial ice. I can break you to make crushed ice. Let's drop one ice here, and then let's make a crushed ice. Alright, we can mix to make a winter powder. I've never mixed it with a torch before, but I'm kind of concerned. My blade was blessed by a dark elf priest high on DMT, so you know it's good. Forged by autistic gnomes, so you know it's good. Alright, we've also never mixed it with goop. If I click on winter powder, there's more to discover about winter powder as well. The beaver gave it to me. Blood and winter powder make bubbling precursor. Like, we're hitting a vein here. We have a lot of stuff we can interact with. Let's just put this on the floor for now. Put that on the floor. All right, where am I going, compass? To the right. All right, still don't have sacred magic, so we're not going in there. Bunch of water in here. Make a bubbling. We got all the stuff for one. Don't worry. I'm less interested in making something I've already made, and I want to try new things, but I imagine there's a lot. Oh, that's a new friend. That's two new friends, technically. Voodoo? Three HP left on you. Oh, they're coming. Four hit points. And what's your attack range? Melee? Oh, you got 5 health left. How much do you hit for? Three damage. We have 15 health. I can tank a little bit of that. Got a copper coin. A lot of goop, a lot of sulfur. Ba, 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 ba. Arsonist iron. Something we have not played around with very much. Let's hold on to that. Lapis Lazuli's boring. Do we know everything about sulfur? Not yet. Nothing new in the room we can mess around with. Let's make another spark powder. Grab a little meat. Back to ye old storage room. Okay, spark powder, nothing new. Nothing new with the arsonist stuff either. Necrotic powder. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da. Alright, let's leave this here, this here. Make me a little fire, cook the meat with it, eat the meat. Da, 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 da. Still have my emergency heal for 6. And where am I going? Up. Yes, fight! Yeah, I got meat lying around all over the place. I don't like this giant crowd of scourge lions coming my way. I don't think these guys are gonna do very much to keep me safe either. Do you know about Grimshire, the Stardew Valley-esque game, but with a starvation and hard choices? I don't think I do. Summon a twinkling reflection. A 14 health friend of the Alchemist is a construct. Does it just run away? Just stands there and gets hit a lot? Oh yeah, give me recommendations. I always love getting those. Let's poison shot you. Resistant to poison. What a bummer. Okay, scary stuff. Alright, well that was a handy little distraction. Now that I know what it does, I would use it differently in the future. Yeah, no, they hit hard. The Scourge Lions and the other Scourge entities are... When the game goes from like... Okay, I understand what's going on, to... Oh, okay, this is hard. I have 2 fires in my pocket. Where'd I leave a bunch of meat? I think the other thing I suggested to Fartfish was, like, in lieu of, say, a second inventory or something, like, if you want to do the stash room, having it so if you put a twinkling stone down, which is rock plus pixie dust, like that'll make a tile on the map glow, so it's easy to figure out, like, oh, that's my inventory room. But I would love to have, like, when you set that up, like, let me teleport stuff directly to that room rather than making multiple trips. Like, I just want to figure out a way to streamline the process of managing a bunch of stuff you have to interact with. That's the goal. It's either you need to give the player some kind of larger inventory, which for a game like this might just include having the player expand their inventory, kind of like what Resident Evil does. Well, some of the Resident Evils. Or you need to streamline the process of just moving things to a workshop. Or even just make it so the player has like a pocket home. Like teleport into your Alchemist's Alcove. Let the name of the game have a feature in the game. Give me an Alchemist's Alcove. A little pocket plane we go to where we can keep a bunch of garbage. Maybe you could have a second twinkling stone, and you drop it in a room and combine things to it that makes it teleport to the other stone. Exactly. Something like that would be fine. I kind of like the idea of, like, literally having, like, the option to either pick something up and put in inventory, or send it to your alcove. And if you're in a calm room where there's no enemies, you can enter your alcove. Start with 2 leather for a pouch, move on to a bag of holding as you get other things. Upgradable inventory like that would be good. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, you can get another row on your inventory. It's just like you hit that wall of having so much stuff that you want to hold on to or actively craft with, but you're also trying to hold on to equipment, utility items, and spells. Like, we have a hammer, we have a knife, we have a wand, we have a torch, we have a compass. I've already thrown my boots and my gloves away just because they take up space. Like, here are my boots. I just tossed them on the ground. Like, certain things are potentially useful, but it's frustrating trying to juggle that much space. Doot, 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 doot. Ash, 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 bone, 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 sulfur, sulfur. Ba, 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 ba. Like, the boots don't even change your movement speed or anything. You can merge pixie dust with boots to make blink. So, like, really, you just end up leaving boots in one room. Ba 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 ba. You're just using blink to move. I use it as an emergency move. Like if things get a little, whoops, a little crowded. I want to start moving some of this stuff out of this room. Like, we only need so many bones and ash in here. God damn it! Like, I'll go put this on the floor, and then you step on it again, like, son of a bitch. At this rate, we're getting to a point where it's like, maybe this room's just gonna be for bones and ash. Alright, with all that taken care of, back to this room. Right, I left 2 cooked meat in here, too. I got another primordial ice, so that's what I was curious about. Now that we have an extra primordial ice, we can go grab this. Wasn't there something new I could have made with this? Oh, it was with the ice itself, wasn't it? No. Am I having false memories? Ice torch? Yeah, there's... We've done ice and torch. It's, crushed ice and torch is new. I thought there was a new thing on the floor, and I was like, I'll come back for that. What is this phantom memory I have? It also says we can mix it with our wand, but... Charged frost jelly. Oh, electrified goop. Alright, let's mix it with the torch and see what happens. Shocking everybody. It has created water. God damn it. I knew it! Son of a bitch. Like, I suspected that would be the outcome there. Your copper sulfate. More to discover. Alright, let's touch you to my hammer and make the powder. We should make some electrified goop. We don't have any goop in this room? How do we not have any goop in here? If I really burned through all my goop? Boop. I think that's what it was. I had goop on the ground and I end up using the goop for fire. So let's merge goop and this. We get frost jelly. It is cold. As far as we know, we do not have a use for frost jelly yet. So let's plop that on the ground. I want to make electrified goop, which means I just need goop. A new room for goop and ash and bones. Ah, goop. Doot, doot, doot. I would like to make electrified goop. We need spark. Spark is copper sulfate, zinc plate. Well, we have copper sulfate. If we want a zinc plate, we got to break up one of our coins. Let's go get a different coin, though. I have another one lying around. Here. With the Scourge had tons of goop. Yeah, we got some goop here. Lots of goop. Alright, put a goop on the floor. Coin that up. Merge you to make spark. Spark and goop for electrified goop. Charged frost jelly. Funny enough, is not something we make using the frost jelly on the floor. But now we have lots of different goops to play with later on as well. Put the blood on the floor. Copper shavings are inert. They're dead to me. Drop them here. Same thing with copper sulfur. Nothing I need to work with there. This might come up, even though we know everything. It could still be used for spells. Ash is important, but it could stay in this room. Okay. And with that, I'm starting to get to a point where I need more spells. Where are we going? Up? Who is this Seeker? A Tauran Traveler. 18 health. 18 health. Good God. Enemy teams. Friends of the Alchemist. He doesn't like Scourge Lions, though. Deals 2 sacred damage. You know, that's the kind of damage I'm trying to learn about. Yes, fight him. And he didn't drop anything. Well, great. Ba, 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 ba. Goblin Shaman. Alright, what do we got here? Copper coin, some meat, more primordial ice, some blood, water, a couple diamonds. Nothing for sacred damage. I'll never learn how to fight pixies. I did like that refracted light. Diminution powder, dead air. Alright, where are we going? We'll take a peek before we really commit. Alright. As far as starting room goes, not the worst. Especially when these things are going to fight each other. Well, you can keep fighting. You don't have to, like, just come right at me. Deals 2 smashing damage on a target tile. Deals 3 burning damage on tiles and a cone. I think the other thing I would say would be it's nice to see what the Hobgoblin's health is on the screen, as well as the resistances, but I think I also want to know what kind of damage they do right here. Like, I think shifts is fine for seeing what their alliances are, but I definitely want to immediately know what kind of danger they represent. I don't want to have to left shift to find out how much damage I need to worry about. Ooh, he dropped something. These words weren't written for you. And what's this? Tauran Horn glistens with lost light.
I'm sorry.
Bad at making a username. Sorry if you're answered this question a million times. I'm new here. Can Kasane Teto enjoyers be humble and kind in the chat? I imagine they can handle it, yeah. 2 more diamonds. We finally found something I've never seen before. Tauran Horn. And this apparently is magic. I want to know what the words are. There's much to discover about poop. More cooked food. It says dick, but son of a bitch! They got me again! Alright, we got pixie dust out of it. I think we're due for a trip back to Yield Experimentorium. Alright, Horn. Mixes with blood, and that's all it seems to mix with. Let's do it. We made Glittering Precursor. Glittering precursor mixes with bone. Let's see what happens when we mix it with bone. It's turned into Hearty Brew. Despite its unsavory ingredients, it releases a sweet, inviting scent. Applies Hardy and Healing to units on impacted tiles. Buffs Hardy increases max HP by 5, heals for 4, heals for 2 healing damage on the target tile. So that's just a very nice heal and a max health increase. Between this and eugenics, when people say gaming in 2026 is going straight to shit, they mean a design choice sense, not quality. Exactly, we have Poopy. Oh my god, dick butt. Yeah, we have a pile of diamonds to bring back as well. So nothing new I can mix with my Poopy. I need to start making some spells, though. Drop a couple of diamonds here. It's gonna get really hard to walk around and pick up specific things I want. Alright. Primordial Ice. We know everything there is to know about it. So we always want it to be crushed ice. And we know everything there is to know about crushed ice. Look at that. Would you look at that? We have electrified goop. Let's make charged frost jelly as well. In order to make charged frost jelly, we need electrified goop. There it is, charged frost jelly. We can make a frost spark wand, which is just a very good wand. We might want to consider this. We don't have a stick? How do I not have a stick in here? God damn it. Alright, I gotta get a stick. I think the top row is for, like, repeat use equipment in combat. Or just in crafting as well, maybe? No, just repeat use stuff. Put the flint up there. And then bottom row is also that. But we'll put the blink there because why not? Only a 2-tile radius. Yeah, but we're just considering, like, what kind of damage we could do with things. Especially if it's repeat use. Like, we have really big spells, but we run out. Like, the fact that we could use this over and over and over again and it's doing upwards of 5 damage is pretty good. And I'm sure we have sticks lying around all over the place. He says, finding 0 bones. Zinc? What do we need zinc for? Reminds me of that game Alchemy, where you start with water, fire, wind, and air, but by the end of the game, you're combining things to make, like, rockets and laser guns. Yeah. We ran out. It makes the spark. Ah. I mean, we already got the jelly. Now we just need a stick. Once we have the stick, we can make the frost spark wand. But I don't know where sticks are anymore. We might have to just go fight a couple of goblins. Four health. You're dead. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's good. Try the demo of that game. The premise is so cool and the reviews are good. How is this? I like this one. It is still not released. It comes out March 6th. We're playtesting it for the developer, who was here, but then they had to go and do something because of emergencies. Whatever that means. But I do think this game is really cool. It has a little bit of a clunkiness just because of, like, how many things there are that can combine with other things. So inventory management becomes a little bit of... like, it becomes a crucial component of the game. But it doesn't feel fun. Like, you can make inventory management kind of like a game itself. But like I said, it's not out and it's still being worked on, so that may change. The floors get messy? Yeah, like we have a room where we're just dumping stuff right now. Like I keep teleporting here and kind of making this my experimentorium where we experiment with different things we find. You know what? We have enough blood that I'm gonna mix this with some chitin and make the gurgling precursor. So in the past, we've done explosion of salts by doing gurgling precursor and salt, but it's a precursor. Like any number of things could happen by mixing it with stuff. So let's leave that here for future discovery. If you have more than 3 of an item, we should put it in the storage room south of you. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if the game devolves to a point where you're like, all right, now I have to sort this room where I'm sorting things, that's the sign of maybe there's an issue. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, I don't want to. Like, that's not fun. Like, I'm not playing a game at that point. I'm doing a chore. That's why I'm trying to figure out, like, what's a good system for dealing with this. Like I mentioned earlier, like stacking stuff, but if we're not going to stack things, like we need some kind of solution. Me, a hoarding person. Like I'm a hoarder, but I'm a hoarder in like Caves of Cud, where it's not a pile of pictures on the floor that I have to walk over to, it's a list. And I'm putting things like from my inventory into a chest. And then I have like chests where I am like, oh, this is a chest where I'm putting only my cybernetics, and like that naturally starts happening. There is a Quap-like climbing game. You're a mountain climber. It's fun and pretty. It's called Cairn. I've heard a lot of good things about Cairn. Like, I think having an actual Alchemist Alcove where it's just a list of ingredients and how many you have. Yeah, like if there's inventory overload, then usually the solution is less item drops. But the whole point of this game is crafting and doing alchemy, right? Which is why I'm trying to pitch, like, solutions. I like the idea of, like, the game is called Alchemist Alcove. And, like, we're not in an alcove, we're an alchemist, and we're exploring some mysterious dungeon looking for, I assume, the Philosopher's Stone. Like, we're trying to make the great work, the gestalt. Like, we're trying to do the good work. So actually having a thing, a place called the Alchemist Alcove plays into the name of the game, and, like, you could just let me pick up items and opt to put them in the alcove, and when a room is no longer in a combat scenario, I could access the alcove, and like it could literally just be a list, and we could do the same stuff we're doing now, where if I highlight an item, it'll highlight other items it can interact with. You could do what we're doing here, but much more cleanly. But that's like how I would do it if I were making the game, is I would literally have like a magical extra dimensional space called the Alchemist Alcove where I put all of the bulk items that I need to be interacting with. And I could opt to leave things on a floor And like, if you want to make it so you have to do the crafting on the floor, fine, just let me take it out of my alcove and put it on the floor. If you just made this game a series of linear rooms without backtracking, it would solve much of the inventory issues. The backtracking is the problem. I mean, if it were a linear series of rooms, is it just we have an infinitely large backpack? Like, what are we doing with the inventory? All right, I have my gurgling precursor here. I now have a very nice spell on a wand, which is what I want. The problem is that you have 60 inventory slots, but those don't matter because your inventory is infinite. It's the world's. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I'm okay having 16 usable things up there, but I'm fighting for space between components, spells, equipment, and utility. And if the floor is infinite space, like, just give me an inventory space called the Alcove, where I could put the craftable stuff. So what's the point? Yeah. If the inventory space is infinite, it's just a matter of backtracking a lot. I understand, yeah. That is kind of like, I'm trying to solve that, and I don't necessarily think it needs to be a linear experience. The exploration's fine. I just want to cut back on the need to go to, like, a storage room. I don't want the whole world to be the inventory. I just want to have the inventory come with me. Because arguably, I think you have a point, right? Like, if the entire world is my inventory, why not just have that be a list somewhere? Why make it so I have to go back and forth? The world is your trash can. If you wanted to, like, make it important, again, I'm going to keep coming back to the name of the game being Alchemist Alcove. Like, you could literally have an Alchemist Alcove, and, like, maybe you need to use stuff in there. You could have alchemical equipment. Like, you could have a cauldron, you could have a decanter, you could have some sort of, like, what's the thing that spins really fast? It's a centrifuge, but, like, the kind that spins to separate. Isn't there a special name for that one? Or I have a search function where you can look up where you left things. Like, something like that. Thank you, Brewhark. Like, I love the idea of, like, having the name of the game play into a core mechanic. And obviously, Alchemist, sure, but, like, I want that alcove. I want that actual space, or, like, a place where I can put things. Just centrifuge? Alright, well, you could have, like, the alcove have things you need to interact with these ingredients. That way, like, I don't know, I'm with Abe in the idea that if the entire world is an inventory, but I have to walk around through all the rooms to get the stuff, it's just tedious. I think the game is fun, and I like all the various elements. I don't want to have to wander around all the time. Bow, bow. Heading up. Woof, that is a crowded room. Alright, you hit for 5 total. I think we might use one of our big boy spells for that. Woof, yeah, no, we're definitely in wanting to get rid of things quickly. Can he not hit me where I'm standing? Can he hit me for 7? 3 damage, he has a charge. I don't think he can do 7. Give us a round table hold, like something like that. Alright, and this is where we run away. Have a snack, bring us up to 7. How scary is this room? How scary is this room? I still don't know how to fight those. Another question about this game that I don't understand, is there any penalty for leaving a room after combat starts? No, there is not. Like, so far, my system has been enter a room, consider the implications, leave the room. They don't chase you out of the room, so you can kite them and then like use a different entrance, which is why I'm looking to the left and right to decide, do I want to try and approach that room from another angle? I know you don't play too many traditional roguelikes, but we're essentially doing a variant on a classic roguelite strategy called stair dancing, where if you have a Z level change, generally in traditional roguelites they don't go up or down and follow you. So you stair dance, you go up, make your decisions, dance back down the stairs, and deal with the consequences, whatever you're working with, and then come back a little bit more prepared later. See, I don't consider that a design hole, that's just kind of part of the turn-based roguelike experience. I wouldn't complain if they chased you out of the room, though. I'd be fine with that. Do I want to use my big boy heal? I feel like this is really much more of a emergency decision. Dungeon Dreadmore does that, and it's hilarious. Like, Caves of Cud, you can stair dance, but enemies do chase you up and down the stairs. Like, you will be followed. Exactly, like, we're in another one of those, like, I could use this, but I have meat lying around, and the meat should be eat first. We should definitely go through and do that. Alright, we do need some kind of spell, though. We gotta make something to fight with. Yeah, not everybody will chase you up the stairs and cut, but a certain number will. What are you saying? I've never done frost jelly in a stick before. I am concerned that it's going to make a variant of something I've already done, but let's do it. I've made frost jelly on a stick. It's frost jelly, and it's on a stick. What's not to love? Does it do anything? You've discovered all there is to know about this item. You bastard. Well, that's just a troll combination. That does nothing for us. That is a terminal point in crafting. Mean. That is mean. Well, let's not put it on the floor in here. What's not to love? Alright. I need some kind of combat spell. We need more items like that. No, we don't. No, we don't. I think another thing would be, again, I pitched a bestiary, which sounds like that's a thing we could expect to see in the future. Being able to maybe sort the notebook by just spells, that way I could kind of plan about what I need to craft next would be good. Because right now it's just everything. What kind of spell do I want? I really like the AoE spells. Those have been really helpful. Noxious fumes, 6 necrotic, 2 poison. That's pretty good. That's raw meat and necrotic powder. Unfortunately, necrotic powder is a very limited item. We cannot make more of that right now. We should try something with spark. Like my spark powder? I guess we could do this by picking up a couple of the things and just like, what kind of spells can I make with this? Alright, spark powder. There's nothing new for us. And it doesn't make me any exciting spells. So I think we'll leave the spark powder on the floor. Pixie dust, there's plenty of spells here. Alchemical space. Bubbling precursor, pixie dust. Increases your inventory space by... oh, yeah, here we go. This is one of the inventory increasers. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I remember doing this before. Alright, bubbling precursor is blood, winter powder. God damn it. Alright, let's make more winter powder. Am I? Oh, this is crushed ice. Right, right, right. Winter powder. Oh, damn. There was a thing we could have made. Do we have any more ice? Damn. Damn, damn, damn. There was definitely something we could do with that. Anyway, a bubbling precursor. I love how this game is also an Itch.io and Newgrounds. Yeah! If we can't make cocktails, I'm gonna be devastated. Okay, we've never mixed this with meat before, so that's a new one. We have made Alchemical Hearth. Increases max HP by 5 and heals for 5. We've made another max HP increase. Okay. Water plus fire makes Scalding Steam, which is a spell. It's in a path. It's not quite what I'm looking for. Diminution powder is vomit and bone. I mean, I have plenty of that lying around. Scales. We still haven't figured out anything new for you. We can make crystalline solution. Salty water. Let me guess. Salted water. You know what? $30 HP now. Diamonds. Yeah, we gotta make some diminution powder. Leave diamond on the floor. Leave you on the floor. I have so much vomit lying around. To the bone room. Water plus fire makes steam. Scalding steam, yeah. Just try not to die in there. Alright, diminution powder. I could do something new with my extended grip. It makes glove again! And there's more to discover with gloves, so let's put it on the floor! More to discover with stick, but nothing new in the room. Put it on the floor. You got some snow? Nice. Alright, so water and diminution powder makes me fresh air, which we have more to discover. And plumes of floating. Which apparently, if I mix with air, is something new. It makes water again. Well, at least that's off the list. I am not going to do diminution powder on things I've built because it just takes it apart. We could all just pretend we know what it does. Leave you on the floor. Leave you on the floor. And now I need more vomit. Alright, no more vomit. At least not anything I need at the moment. Get some meat, since I have the inventory space. Plumes of floating sounds like a hydrogen based on the description they give there. And the water creation would mix there. Yeah, yeah. But this is alchemy, so we have to use cool terms and not just, you know, H2O. Oh, I do have some necrotic powder, though. I can make one thing I want. There we go. Yeah, meat and fire makes cooked meat. Oop-a-doop-a-doo. This corner will be my diminution powder pile. If I add that to diamond, we get coal. Let's make a little coal. And there's more to discover about coal. Nothing new in the room. We can make flame and dead air. We have plumes of floating and fresh air. I think I'm just gonna leave coal on the... I can make more coal. You know what? Let's make some dead air and fire, shall we? We know everything there is to know. Give it a cook, give it an eat. You could dupe fire, yep. Okay. I need to get another crystal. Another primordial ice crystal. Because I still don't have any spells. I came here to make magic, and I forgot. Fortunately, those doors all go to places I cannot fight the stuff inside. Here we go. Meat and ash makes a weird bubble. It's like a shield spell. A bubbly shield spell. There it is. Mission accomplished. Not too shabby. I guess I'll take bat wool as well. We don't have any of that in the other room. That's a color door I'm not familiar with. Not a room I want to fight. Helpful. Okay, crush it. We get this. And then we want to mix that with pixie dust. And here's a new one. Creeping Frost, 3 uses. Small pillars of ice form, expand and spread. 4 freezing damage on tiles in a cone. Applies frozen units on impacted tiles. Prevents unit from moving or acting. Alright. We have made magic. Drop the bat wool. Crush you. There was something I was trying to make. Right, pixie dust and a bubbling precursor. Shit. Oh, diminution pattern's just gonna take it apart, right? We can all agree on that? Because I would really like to increase my inventory size. There we go. More slots. Hot slots! Doot, 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 doot. Gargling precursor with salt can make a nice spell. I might make some salts. Alright, salt is next room down. Salt, we need a little sulfur. Alright, we have a couple of spells there. We're gonna be one step away from the Philosopher's Stone. The last thing we need to add is diminution powder. Calling it now. I mean, I'm leaving diminution powder on the floor, just to be safe. There's a lot of good stuff in that room, too. Bum, bum. Okay. Bit crowded, bit crowded. What do we got? Iron Swarf. We know everything there is to know about Iron Swarf, apparently. But the stuff we can make with Iron Swarf, we don't necessarily know everything about. And what's up here? Salt. These words weren't written for you. Get me a little fire and a little pixie dust. Where am I going? That way? Alright, they're gonna be fighting amongst each other. Take advantage of that. Hey, don't fight me. That's right, you're frozen, fools. You were frozen, but... Ow. Okay, and after this, we're going left again. Those are both pixie rooms. Iron Swarf. Let's make small iron balls, which we've discovered no uses for yet. What else can we do with Iron Swarf? We could make fresh air, a charged lodestone. Charged lodestone might be a nice one. We'll bring some Iron Swarf back with me. Yum yum. Yum yum. More of the ice I crave. All right, back to the experimentorium. Lead ball. Oh, sorry, small iron ball. More to discover with this item. So we know nothing about this. I see no uses for it at the moment. We've discovered everything there is to know about crushed ice. That's good. Winter powder seems to still be the thing we want to make out of this, because there are uses for it. We're done with frost jelly. Charged frost jelly. Coal and sulfur make GP? GP? Sounds a lot like muskets are on the table. Iron ball make rifle. Oh, gunpowder. That'd be nice. Drop you on the floor. Salt plus goop makes hot ice. Frost flame lets me make frost beam. There we go. That's a nice spell for us. Crushed ice. Let's just leave you on the floor. Iron Swarf will leave you on the floor. Bring some meat along. Mystical air's on the ground. Yep. I leave a lot of mystical stuff around when I walk. Whoops, I'm holding the wrong button. Yum yum. Yum yum. I left coal back in the other room, right? Grab a couple of sulfur and some blood. What the fuck? I could hit 4 enemies, 6 enemies. I think the 6 here is the best. Let's duck out for a sec. I think I will increase my max health and also heal. Interesting. Okay. Not too bad. I don't like that you guys are friends. Beam. Whew. $18 health. Guessing the compass is going to say up. More pixie dust, more crushed ice. Little meat. Yum, yum, yum. A lot of blood to work with, which is nice. What is this? Iron Swarf? Goop plus Iron Swarf makes Arsonist Iron. And Arsonist Iron, we apparently have plenty more to discover. So let's bring some arsonist iron along. Back to my experimentorium. Arsonist iron has no new interactions on the floor. Just leave it on the floor then. Bub, 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 bub. Arsonist iron and floaty fumes sound like a step or two away for some real chemical warfare. Yes, it does. We've made a coal, right? Let's make more coal. Really, no new mergers for coal. Still nice to have on the floor here. So much blood. Let's make at least one precursor. You know what? Just to make you go away. Oh, shocker. It brings back the original. Put you on the floor. Crush you, mix you. I gotta go back and get some of those scales I've been leaving behind. Because this is pretty helpful stuff. Especially that salt explosion. I think I want more salt. Salt was for... We want bones? It was bones and sulfur. Our bone room's running out. Yeah, we have bones lying around all over the place, though. Alright, what's the next room holds? Enter the sulphurous sands. A hob kobold. Three burning damage on a tile within a 3-tile radius. Applies burning. You burn 2 damage for 5 turns. That's a lot of damage. Good God. 14 health is also not a small amount of health. Gotta find some saltpeter. Pull the old timers war cry. He is 100% resistant to burning, 25% resistant to psychic, 25% resistant to poison. No weaknesses, which is kind of like, come on, dude. That's not very fair. And what are you, a Cobalt Shaman, 8 health. I hate that I'm in range for this guy's attacks right now. So if I go back up here, if I go down, like, these are easy peasy enemies. At what point do we re-enter the new areas? It's one big map after all. Kind of abuse the fact that the map wraps around. Come at it from the top. That's why we won't be able to do it. Now we're in pixie territory. Damn pixies. If I knew how to do damage to pixies, we could just run by them.